Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are really getting into the weeds of modern football strategy.
We are. We're focusing on Manchester United and the huge decisions they're facing, especially with the January window just around the corner.
Right. And we've looked at a whole stack of sources, everything from, internal club reports to the latest chatter coming out of Italy.
Exactly. And the mission today is to map out their strategy because there's this real tension building.
Oh, it's a tension.
You've got these high potential young players who are pushing, and I mean really pushing, for more minutes. Major competitions are coming up.
And that's forcing the club's hand on loans, maybe even permanent transfers. They have to decide now.
They do. And the two biggest stories, the ones dominating the conversation right now, are about Joshua Zirkzee and, of course, Kobbie Mainoo.
They're the immediate problem, the first dominoes that need to fall.
For sure. And it's not just about finding them a club. It's this balancing act between giving them game time versus, their future value and the squad's own needs.
Okay, let's start with Zirkzee then. That one feels the most financially fraught.
It is, as Roma are the ones leading the race.
And their manager, Giro Gasperini, he's a big admirer, isn't he?
He's personally pushing for the deal. The offer is already on the table, it seems. A January loan with a 35 million euro option to buy.
35 million. On the surface, that sounds okay.
It does, but the player, Zirkzee, is openly unhappy. He's just not getting the minutes.
Yeah, and with the World Cup on the horizon, he needs to be playing.
Exactly. And you look at where he is in the pecking order, he's third choice striker behind Sesko and Kuna.
And even further back in those attacking midfield spots.
Right. Third, maybe fourth choice. So that 35 million offer, it feels less like a true valuation and more like, a political solution to get an unhappy player out.
So from United's side, what's the negotiation looking like? Are they going to take it?
Well, this is where it gets complicated. They're very hesitant.
Why?
The talk is they might try and push for 40 million just to, quote, completely break even on their investment.
Okay, a bit of haggling, that's normal.
But the real issue, the real drama is that they are reluctant to include any buy option at all.
Really? Why would they be so against that?
Because he's their insurance policy. It's a hedging strategy.
So if there's a major injury crisis.
Precisely. If Sesko gets injured or if Erikorn isn't quite ready, suddenly they need that depth. And they're terrified of letting a player with his potential walk for just 35 million.
Right, in case his value just explodes next season.
Exactly. So they're basically prioritizing potential injury cover over the player's immediate happiness.
That's a tricky line to walk. Now let's contrast that with the Kobbie Mainoo situation. That one feels very different in terms of player loyalty.
Totally different. The big link is with Napoli. They've got a bit of an injury crisis in midfield, and they are desperate for cover.
And what's so fascinating is Mainoo's own stance on it.
Yeah, he is reportedly very interested, but he is insisting on one thing.
A straight loan.
A straight loan. No option, no obligation to buy.
That's a huge vote of confidence in United, isn't it?
It's massive. He's basically saying, my long-term career is here. He just feels he's too good for the bench right now.
And he's got a specific reason for wanting Italy, too.
He does. He thinks the league there is slower, more technical. It suits his style of play better than, say, a really physical loan in the championship.
That's smart. He's thinking about his development, not just minutes.
Very smart. But that straight loan, it puts all the pressure back on United.
How so?
Because they can't just let him go. The reporting is clear. They cannot loan him out unless they get midfield cover in first.
So they need someone like a Conor Gallagher on loan
Or, and this is the crucial part, their main long-term target becomes available sooner than expected.
And that brings us right to long game, to Carlos Baleba.
Straight to him. He's been the priority target, but for summer 2026 originally.
But now he's pushing for a move sooner.
Yep. Reports say he's even more keen to join now, actively pushing for it.
And United desperately needs that kind of player. You look at what Declan Rice did for Arsenal.
He's supposed to be that caliber. There is some debate, is he the top priority or is it Elliot Anderson? But the feeling is they probably want both.
But Baleba's the one where there's an immediate opportunity.
A huge opportunity. And this is where it gets really, really interesting. It's the performance factor.
Go on.
Baleba has been playing, pretty poorly this season for Brighton.
I've heard that. They're not happy with him, benching him, taking him off early.
And that poor form is a golden ticket for United. This is the player who was valued at almost 100 million euros in the summer.
And now?
Now his value has plummeted. We could be talking 50 to 70 million.
Wow. So his bad form could save United tens of millions. Isn't that a huge risk, though, buying a player who is struggling?
It's a calculated risk, and the lower price tag makes it much more palatable. The suggestion is United could go in with a 70 million euro bid in January, and Brighton might just take it.
And if they get him in January, that solves the Mainoo problem.
It's the perfect domino effect. Getting Baleba allows them to sanction Mainoo's loan without weakening the squad.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about the other promising youngsters on loan, Matej Vitek, the goalkeeper.
Vitek's loan is going, quote, a different level of well.
That's high praise.
It is. The internal talk is already about having him come back and compete directly with Lymans next season.
Ooh, that could be tense. We all saw how the Dean Henderson and De Gea competition played out.
It could be. And it really only works if they get European football.
Right. You need those extra games to rotate.
Exactly. Europa League or Cup games for Vitek, Premier League for Lymans. If they miss out on Europe, that model just isn't viable. You can't keep both happy.
And what about Dan Gore? The Rotherham fans are absolutely raving about him.
They are. They're calling him the best midfielder in the league, saying he's too good for League One. After some bad luck with injuries, he's finally getting a consistent run, and he's been incredible.
So if he's that good, why not just cash in now?
Because his value right now is still quite low, maybe 1 or 2 million euros. The much smarter play is to test him at a higher level.
A championship loan next season.
That's the one. The championship is the real litmus test. See if he can handle that step up. That will either prove he's ready for the first team conversation, or it will maximize his transfer fee.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's do a couple of quick fire updates. First, the one everyone's been waiting for. Lisandro Martinez. Leacher.
He's expected back right after the international break.
And the important context with his injuries
is that they've been contact injuries, unlucky ones, not recurring muscle problems. That's a really good sign for his long-term fitness.
But everyone needs to be patient. He's not going to just hit the ground running.
Absolutely not. The plan has to be to gently mold him back in. You can't rush a player back from that long out, no matter how hard he's worked.
Okay. And speaking of hitting the ground running, Bruno Fernandes on international duty.
He was mint. Just electric. He played a bit further up the pitch than he sometimes does for United.
And the stats were ridiculous.
Completely. In one 90-minute game, 3 goals, an assist, created 8 chances, hit the woodwork. It just shows you what he can do when he's unleashed in that final third.
Definitely something for the coaching staff to think about.
For sure. And finally, there's this new, quite speculative link. A player called Christos Muskaitis.
Tell me about him.
He's an 18-year-old deep-lying playmaker from Olympiacos. The description is perfect for a modern midfielder. Great at breaking the lines with his passing, very press-resistant.
Sounds like exactly what they need. What's the asking price?
Olympiacos apparently wants around 30 million euros.
But I feel a but coming.
There is a big but. We have to include the reliability caveat. The source for this particular rumor is noted as being, let's say, not the most reliable source of information.
Okay, so file that one under interesting, but wait and see.
Exactly. Pure speculation for now.
So let's bring this all together. When you synthesize all this, what's the core strategic tension for the club right now?
It's a juggling act. It's about generating income, maybe from a Zirkzee sale, to help afford a game changer like Baleba.
While at the same time
not neglecting your own. You have to give your high potential kids like Maino, Gore, and Vitek the minutes they need. Otherwise, their development stalls. It's the present versus the future.
And for anyone listening, the most fascinating little piece we found in all this is how Baleba's recent poor form has just completely changed the game.
It's incredible. It's potentially opened up a January window to get a priority summer target, but at a huge discount. We're talking 70 million now versus almost 100 million just a few months ago.
That timing is incredible. It lets them fast-track their midfield plans and solve their immediate depth problem all at once.
It's a massive opportunity if they can pull it off.
So here's a final thought for you to chew on. Think about Kobbie Mainoo. His loyalty, his specific demand for a straight loan, it shows he's completely committed to returning.
He is.
So how much pressure does that put on the club to get this loan right? And on the other hand, does Mainoo's loyalty actually raise the stakes for a player like Zirkzee, who seems far more willing to consider a permanent move if he doesn't get what he wants?
That's a great point. How the club handles these two very different situations with two very talented players will say a lot about the culture they're trying to build.